Hi everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru of Prince George here. We're taking a look at the 2023 Subaru WRX Sport in the ceramic white. So this is a very, very flat, bright white. I say flat because there's no metallic in this, so very flat color. But this is the new body style WRX, redesigned for 22, 23. Pretty much nothing changed. Get that new front end versus the previous one. Slightly smaller, more aggressive LED steering responsive headlights. Being the Sport, this is mid trim level, so this is the first trim level where you get those LED little fog lights. Very, very bright despite the size. I really like the new hood. I like the slightly wider, slightly less tall hood scoop. Now, this is powered by a 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine producing 271 horsepower. And if you've driven the previous gen WRX, it's very, very different. There's very, very little boost lag. It's a very linear acceleration feel. Sport is the first trim level that gets your black 18-inch alloy wheels, and they are wrapped in Dunlop Sport Max GT 600As. So pretty decent road tire. We've got functional vents in this cladding along the bottom. Sport is the first trim level where you get your tilt and slide sunroof. We do also have these little doors here, so if you're gonna get crossbars to mount something on the roof, you flip up these doors, ideally with something like a little flathead screwdriver, or if you've got tough nails, you can do that, and they actually bolt into the door, so very, very robust. Mid-size sedan is what I would call this, sport sedan. And then the rear end, I like this black strip that goes right across. I think it accents well, ties the taillights in together. You have your quad tip exhaust, and then there are actual functional vents, and it is kind of hard for the camera to see in there, but this is actually a functional vent. You can, oh yeah, you can see the white paint in there. That's functional. Despite being a sports car, it's very practical. You have a ton of room in the trunk, and these seats 60-40 split. You can fold them down if you need additional room. Underneath here, we have our spare tire tools and our spare tire. Our American friends only get the Fix-A-Flat kit, so that is a one-up for us in that regard. If you ever get stuffed in the trunk, have glow-in-the-dark trunk release. And the Sport is the first trim level that gets this little lip spoiler, kind of the duck bill. That is the same on the Sport Tech as well. Now, with this being a proximity key, I've got these little lines on the door handle. That's to lock it, and it beeps and locks. And then to unlock it, so long as the key's within 46 inches, put your hand in and it unlocks. Second row, there's a lot of room. There's still a really good amount of room despite being the mid-size sedan. You've got the black cloth with the red contrast stitching. Seats are comfortable in the second row. Sport is the first trim level where you get the fold-down armrest with integrated cup holders. The base does not have this. We do have the latch system, the lower anchors and tethers for child seats in here, and that's just a Velcro strap right there. Got two USB ports out of the center console for charging. There's a map back front passenger seat pocket. And in the door, we have a little bit of storage, bottle holder, soft touch. This is also soft touch. Power window. We have this faux carbon fiber trim, goes across, nice accent. And if you need it, child lock. Up front, we did kind of see the front driver door card already, but very, very similar. The carbon fiber trim, the soft touch materials, window lock, power windows, a little bit more storage, bottle holders the same size. Sport is the first trim level that gets your power driver's seat, and that does include lumbar support. It is the same seating material up front as it is in the second row. Obviously, you just have some more bolstering, hold you in the corners when you're cornering tight. And then these headrests are tiltable, adjustable, depending how close you want it to the back of your head. By the driver's left knee, we have the ability to open the trunk, deactivate traction control. This is a scroll wheel for the brightness of your gauges. And then we do get the aluminum pedals. So they have the blue covers on them right now. Someone's coming to pick up the car shortly, so we'll probably peel those off. The footrest also gets the aluminum pedal treatment with the rubber grippies. And I find that the footrest with the actual plate is very, very comfortable. And we hop inside here. Get the key out of my pocket, so I'm not sitting on it. There we go. And something I don't think you could really, the camera is having a little bit of trouble picking this up. On the Sport, this accent is not as dark as the others. It's a little bit of silvery, and it ties into this silver. I quite like this. I think it's a very sharp looking contrast piece. I think it looks good. And again, the camera's not doing it justice. So on the inside, it is push button start. To start these push button starts with the manual transmissions, clutch has to be in, foot doesn't have to be on the brake. Light is green, clutch is, my foot is off the clutch, can't start it. Clutch on. There we go. So you do get a D-shaped steering wheel, little flat here, little carbon fiber trim piece here, ties it in with your door cards. Left-hand side, we have our Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. Right-hand side, we have our cruise control. Down here, these arrows will change our small little center display. And it gives you a bunch of different information: boost gauge, fuel economy, estimated distance to empty, how long you've been running the car for, what you're listening to, date, thermometer. We have headlights that default to auto, which is perfect. Fog light controls right there. Steering wheel adjustment down here. Simply hook your thumb, pull down, and now you have both tilt and telescopic, depending how you like to sit. And you just push up on that same lever to get it down, or lock it back in place, I should say. So we have little black screens on either side mirror, and they are kind of hard to see, but that's your blind spot detection. And it looks like that on the corresponding side when someone's in your blind spot. So it doesn't eliminate shoulder checking, and you do have some really nice visibility out of this car when you're shoulder checking, but this is a great aid. And I just had this set, I just adjusted the seat to where I would sit, so you're getting my first person view for this, which is pretty cool. So on this little center display, this little square that's blank, when the car is in gear and the clutch is fully engaged, you have what gear you're in. It tells you what gear you're in, which is really cool. Lots of cars won't do that. In my experience, I'm sure most modern cars will do that. 11.6 inch touchscreen. We've got this little bit of glare here. See if I can reduce that. Not sure the white shirt that I'm wearing right today is helping with that at all. But it is touchscreen, 11.6 inches. We've got the little Monopoly house as your home screen, and they've broken it into 3 portions. Top portion up here, what we're listening to, gauges, and you can change these gauges around. I just simply, I'm mixing this up with the other one, with the Outback screen. The Outback one, you can do that. I have to change these ones through settings. And then weather, part of the 3-month trial of the satellite radio. So right now it just defaults to DC Metro. If we wanted to change that, we go under apps, Sirius Travel Link, and then we go over to weather, select location, and they actually have it in alphabetical order. Normally Canadian stuff is always at the bottom, Prince George. And of course no data available because we are sitting right under a big metal roof. But then it'll get Prince George weather. Middle portion of the screen, you've got radio, media, apps, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You'll get access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle's registered in your name. Settings, and then we have our climate controls. So I guess this is kind of a potential downside to this 11.6 inch screen, and this is a very specific event because of where I'm sitting, where the sun is, but the glare on this. So I can see it fairly fine when I'm not looking through the camera, but I'm not sure what the camera is exactly picking up, but it isn't exactly as clear as some of my other videos because of the sun. So that may be something. If you're light sensitive, this may not be the car for you because of that, but you know, there are workarounds for it. And I do believe that is with the screen as bright as it can go. Yeah. But climate controls in the bottom, we've got access to our heated seats. You click it, brings it up, turn on your heated seats, which I'm obviously going to turn off. And then it is dual zone, so you have buttons. Goes up, low. If I want to sync it, I just hit this sync button down here. And then you click on the little image of a person and it brings up where you want your airflow. Below that, we have 2 USBs and an aux port. It is wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so use those for that. Aux for music listening, 12 volt for any charging needs. And this is rubberized, so they're expecting to use that as device storage. It is the 6-speed manual transmission. So reverse on the Subaru, up, over, back. And when you do that, the backup camera comes up. And it does show you the top of the bumper. It is kind of hard to see in the shade and the fact that the sun glares on here, but it does show you that. And as you turn the wheel, those orange lines move, show you where you're gonna end up if you keep your wheel turned that way. As soon as you're out of reverse, goes back to regular screen. Up top, this is my favorite feature ever. This is an auto dimming rearview mirror. There's no switch to flick, it just automatically dims if someone has their high beams on behind you. It is great, especially being in a car in Prince George. There's a lot of trucks with poorly aimed aftermarket headlights. Tilt and slide sunroof. It is a manual shade. If you open the glass with the slide, it'll drag it, but it is a manual to close it. Tilt button. We've got our map lights. We have SOS and roadside. So that is part of the 3-year trial to the connected services you get with most new Subarus. And so you will have the ability to download the My Subaru app, and you'll get a little bit more function and connectivity, but SOS is for medical emergencies if you feel unsafe or you're in an accident and the airbags don't deploy. Blue, call for roadside. We do also have the roadside assistance number there. And there is one, oh, the owner's manuals are on my desk, but there is one in the owner's manual pouch that is typically in the vehicle. So that is a quick look at the 2023 Subaru WRX Sport with the 6-speed manual transmission. And I figured we'd also take a look underneath the hood here. So I've already popped the release, but just like every Subaru, you go to the right of the Subaru logo, hand in facing down, move it from right to left, and lift. And we have hood struts. WRX, I think, is the only car left in our lineup with hood struts, and that is a safety rating thing for the other cars. But because the WRX already has a sharp, pointy part on the hood that could hurt a pedestrian if you hit it, they felt that they could also leave the hood struts. But there's your 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine with the top mount intercooler. Pretty much everything the average consumer is going to touch is in yellow. You've got brake fluid, you've got washer fluid, you've got oil, you've got coolant, you have your dipstick, oil filters up top, easy access to your air filter. And then I just like to give them a push. I don't like to put my hands on them and push down. I feel like I'm going to break it when I do that. Dent. That is a quick look at the 2023 Subaru WRX Sport with the 6-speed manual transmission. My name is Tyson. I'm the Subaru specialist here at Subaru of Prince George. If you guys are in British Columbia looking for a car, please reach out to me directly. Send me a message on a video, or you can email me directly from the About tab on my channel. Again, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.